not that I don't want you here. Yeah. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist you. We can get away. Palm trees, beach views, with another day. All I wanna hear is in the dishes I replay. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. It's Danielle, and I'm in the car because it is officially time to start preparing for Thanksgiving, which means I'm on the way to Walmart. I'm about to try and grab some last minute things that we need for our dinner. I am going to be cooking a traditional Thanksgiving dinner this year, and I'll share the menu. That's the problem with filming in the car. But I'll share the menu with you guys a little bit later in this video. But right now we're going to head to Walmart, grab some last minute groceries, and when I get home, I'll do kind of like a grocery haul. You might be surprised how little ingredients we're actually going to need to pull this dinner off, because it is not going to be like anything crazy. But let's go to Walmart and do some shopping, and then we'll go home and we'll talk a little bit more about what's actually going to be happening and what the menu is and all that. Why are you staring at me? This is why. See, people like this. If you gonna stare while I film, then you're gonna also be on camera. I'm gonna focus mostly on. I guess I can show y'all everything, but mostly I just wanted to show y'all what I got for Thanksgiving. So a double glazed, honey cured, double glazed, boneless spiral cut ham. They also had bone-in spiral cut hams, but I felt like this was probably a better option. It'd be quicker to cook and all that. So got some half and half. This is something I just like to keep on hand all the time, but also like it's good for desserts and stuff. Chicken broth. So I got 2 of these. Of course, staples are sugar and flour. This is not Thanksgiving related, but I got some of the Walmart bakery Hawaiian rolls and some of the Walmart brand Texas toast. This makes really good French toast. And then also got some Walmart bakery Italian bread. This is the Italian garlic herb topped Italian loaf. Some sweetened condensed milk. This is the Walmart brand, and then some evaporated milk. And I'm thinking I can use this for sweet potato pie. Probably could use both of these for sweet potato pie. So I just wanted, I have never used that before, but I figured why not try it. So just decided to grab those. I have so much stuff that is not related to Thanksgiving. I'm trying to sort through it. Oh yeah, some long grain and wild rice, some light brown sugar, and some Jiffy cornbread mix. This is the OG. So I got 3 of these just for making cornbread. And then I got a ton of sweet potatoes. I think I got like 8 of them. 8 really big, good sized sweet potatoes, because I'm making sweet potato, like candy sweet potatoes and sweet potato pie. The one thing I couldn't find was deep dish pie crust. So I'm gonna have my mom see if she can find that when she comes down, because she's gonna be spending Thanksgiving with us. These are unrelated, those are candles. I'll still show y'all though in case you're interested. These were actually really cheap, and they smell good, and they're super cute. So these are Better Homes and Gardens salted coconut and mahogany candle, and then I got the warm leather and amber, and both of these will go with my decor once I get my furniture. And of course macaroni and cheese. So I got a pound of extra sharp cheddar, half pound of smoked Gouda, and a half pound of Havarti. And I already did a little bit of shopping at Trader Joe's, So I got my macaroni noodles from there. And these are like the fancier macaroni noodles. They're like the wide Italian macaroni. So if you look closely at them, there's like, they have a much wider opening, and the shape is a little bit different, so they can hold a lot more sauce. So I grabbed 2 of these. I don't know if I'm gonna use the full 2 pounds. And then also got some cranberry sauce from Trader Joe's. This is a first time purchase for me, so I hope it's good. Turkey roasting pan, and I like it because it comes with handles, and it has like this metal brace underneath it, so that it doesn't, your turkey doesn't, the middle of your pan isn't drooping when you have a heavy turkey. But my turkey is not that big, but I still don't have a roasting pan for it, so I decided to pick that up. Let me show y'all the turkey. I also got it from Walmart. It's not that big, but it's big enough for my family, just because it's not like a huge amount of people that are gonna be here. Oof. This one is 12 pounds. Can y'all see that? It was 98 cents a pound, and it's a little over 12 pounds. Some other random things that I got for Thanksgiving are this Trader Joe's pumpkin cheesecake. I've never tried this before, but it's cheesecake, so how bad can it be? And then one other thing I want to show y'all, not Thanksgiving related, but definitely kitchen related, is this Better Homes and Gardens container set. This was a Black Friday deal. It was $30, and I paid $27 for the other set of these that I have, which is already in my pantry. This was around $30 too for the 4 containers, but in that one you get like 8, so I thought that was a really good deal. Right now I just do flour, sugar, pancake mix, and brown sugar, but now we can add some extra stuff. So we could do like macaroni or pasta, rice. Rice is something we definitely have a ton of that we could put in here. These are gonna get some good use. But yeah, I love these containers. Okay, so we got everything that I need to get in containers is in containers. So now we have rice, some penne pasta. You can obviously just switch this out with any pasta that you have on hand. And a full pound of pasta fits in here perfectly. And when you have the smaller cuts of pasta, you could probably do 2 pounds in this container. So penne pasta, powdered sugar, elbow macaroni. This is cream of wheat. And then this one's grits. Okay, so now that all that is done, let's talk about the menu. So we're gonna be doing 2 meats, which are gonna be ham and turkey, which you guys already saw. For side dishes, we're gonna have a stuffing, which my grandmother's gonna make, macaroni and cheese, which you guys saw the ingredients for already. Sweet potatoes, so candied sweet potatoes, the wild rice, and then I may or may not make white rice too. But then of course that's gonna go with gravy, turkey gravy, which I'm gonna make from the drippings. For a vegetable, we're doing green beans. It's these French green beans from Trader Joe's. And my grandmother's also gonna be making potato salad. And then for desserts, y'all already saw the pumpkin cheesecake from Trader Joe's, and I'm also gonna be making maybe 2 sweet potato pies and a pound cake. So that is everything that I'm gonna be making. And I'll see y'all when it's actually time to start prepping those ingredients. All right, y'all, so today is Tuesday, and we're not starting on dinner yet, but we are about to start a little bit of prep. So what I'm gonna do is take the turkey and just thaw it out, because it is officially 2 days before Thanksgiving. So the turkey's right here. and I just want to give it a chance to thaw overnight, and then I will season it tomorrow and then cook it on Thursday. So that is the plan. Just putting it in the sink. It's a heavy turkey. Even though it's small, it's still heavy. Also have the ham in the freezer, which I probably won't thaw out until tomorrow. It's right there. But yeah, so that's all the updates for today. I don't think I'm doing much else. There's really not much else for me to prep today because it's still a little bit too soon. But I'll see y'all tomorrow and we'll actually get the process going. All right, y'all, so it is the day before Thanksgiving and I'm about to get dressed, head out and go shopping. But before I do, let's go ahead and tackle this turkey. Let's get it seasoned. Let's get it ready to cook tomorrow. All right, y'all, it's later in the evening and it's super loud in the house right now, which means it's time to do a voiceover. So right now we're making the pound cake. The first step is going to be to add 3 sticks of softened butter to a stand mixer or a large bowl so that you can use a hand mixer. Then you just want to start whipping that butter and incorporating as much air as you can. Next, you're going to go in with 3 cups of sugar, or in my case, I did 2.5. This cake is really sweet. You really don't need the full 3 cups of sugar, even though the recipe does call for it. And the recipe is actually on my channel. I'll link it below in the description box. If you want a step-by-step on this recipe, that's where you can find it. So yeah, 2.5 cups of sugar into the bowl. And then you're just gonna allow this to kind of whip together until it gets a little bit lighter in color. The butter and sugar together create some kind of reaction that makes your cake lighter and more airy if you do this step. If you skip it, probably not going to get results that are as good, but I'm sure it'll still be fine as long as everything's fully incorporated. I recommend taking the time to scrape down the bowl as often as you need to, and of course just allowing it to fully incorporate and the mixture to get as aerated as possible before you move on to the next steps. And then next up, we're going to be adding in 6 eggs, one at a time, and I just kind of give it a minute to incorporate and beat into it after I add that first egg, and then I just kind of keep letting it go like that. Now it's time to start incorporating 3 cups of flour and 1 cup of milk. So I'm kind of just alternating them. So I do a cup of flour, a half cup of milk, a cup of flour, a half cup of milk, and then the last cup of flour. And that's how I make sure that all of it goes in. But with this particular batch, I did notice that I ended up needing more flour at the end. So I probably ended up adding 3.5 cups of flour. And if you've been making this cake and it's been falling, that could be the reason. I think I mentioned that in a few of the comments. But if you're noticing that your mixture is not holding up well, it could just be that you need a little bit more flour. A lot of environmental factors could contribute to that, but if you notice that it's just not really substantial enough and it's not looking like mine does at the end, then definitely add more flour. Right now I'm adding 3 tablespoons of baking powder and some vanilla and of course some lemon extract. You can use whatever extracts you like, totally up to you. And that's really it. From here you just want to spray your pound cake or tube pan. I sprayed mine with nonstick spray and then went in with some flour and just kind of shook it all around the pan. And now I'm adding in my batter, and you can see that it's pretty thick. So if yours is runny, add more flour and then just give it a taste. I would say more flour is better than less because it'll give it more structure and it will hold up better in the oven. Sometimes 3 cups is enough, but sometimes it's just not. And I don't know why that is, but it just is the case. So that's my best advice. I'm going to go ahead and pop this into a 350-degree oven, and it took about an hour and 15 minutes for this to bake. You could definitely bake it at a lower temperature if you want it to not be as brown as mine is. It's going to take a lot longer if you choose to bake it at a lower temperature, and I was tired and I wanted to go to bed, so I chose to bake mine at 350, but do what your heart tells you. Next up is the sweet potato pie. So I went ahead and boiled 2 sweet potatoes. I figured 1 potato per pie would be enough, and it definitely was. Then I went ahead and got those into my mixer, and I let them mix for a bit to try and just get some of the heat off of them. Then I added in 1 full cup of sugar, and I did 2 half cups, and it was actually super duper sweet. I do not recommend it. I think that was way too much sugar, especially since you'll see later that I also added in sweetened condensed milk. Definitely way too sweet. There she goes. Yeah, I did almost a whole can. It was very, very sweet. It was overkill. But it is what it is. Then I added in, I was thinking I was only going to be making 2 pies, so I added in 2 eggs, 1 egg per pie. I'm really just kind of working from memory from what my grandmother used to do. I did not ever get like a written down recipe of how she made her sweet potato pies. Added in a little bit of the evaporated milk, some vanilla, and of course some lemon extract. And then that was really it. From here, you just want to add your seasonings, which is going to be cinnamon and nutmeg. You can go with your heart on that. You can add as much cinnamon and nutmeg as you want. I do more cinnamon than nutmeg, but both are equally important. And clearly I was not using a recipe because I forgot to add in the butter. So I went ahead and put it back on the stand mixer to incorporate the butter. And once that was done, I went ahead and put them into 2 partially baked pie crusts. I did bake the crust while I was making the filling. And I baked these on 350. I was not timing it, but I think it took probably around 30-40 minutes to be completely done. And I also ended up with enough filling to make a 3rd and 4th pie. They were kind of thin, so I could have probably made another deep dish pie without an issue. But yeah, so that was it. This is what the cake and the pies looked like when they came out of the oven. They were super, super good, except for the fact that they were just overly sweet. But if you just lower the amount of sugar that you put into it, I think this would be a perfect pie. If y'all do make it, let me know what you think. All right, so it's the next morning, and I just wanted to show you guys all right, so it's the next morning, and I just wanted to show you guys the cake. It is beautiful, a little bit darker than I would have liked, but it's fine. Now we're moving directly into cooking Thanksgiving dinner. If y'all know from previous years, I only spend about 4 hours cooking Thanksgiving dinner per year. So I'm starting with the sweet potatoes, and this is how I do it. I just basically layer sweet potatoes, sugar, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, and then I also add a little bit of Mrs. Sticks. Just add butter, cinnamon, and sugar seasoning. You can get it on Amazon. I'll link it below. And yeah, I just continue to layer everything and pop this into the oven on 350 and allow it to cook. It takes probably an hour covered and then another 45 minutes uncovered. But these are going to be some of the best sweet potatoes you've ever had in your life. No, I don't measure the sugar. I don't measure anything. I just kind of go with my heart on this. Now moving on to appetizers. My mom's contribution was an avocado and crab dip, as well as a couple of charcuterie boards. So this is Kodi, my daughter, she is juicing a lime into the guacamole. And then my mom also likes to use that guacamole mix that you guys saw on the counter. So once we get it all seasoned up, pop it into a dish, and then we're just going to layer it with real crab meat, top it with a little bit of Old Bay, and that's it. This dip is so, so good. If you guys get a chance to try it, I would recommend it. Now I'm just going to let you guys watch as she kind of tries to figure out the configuration for the charcuterie board. This one is savory. It has cheese, meats, and a few fruits, some nuts, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to let you guys watch, and I'll be back when it's time to explain something else. Now moving on to the turkey, it's time to start seasoning it. So I went ahead and added some bacon grease as well as some sunflower oil. And then I just started adding in all of my seasonings. So I did like complete seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, Cajun seasoning, some fresh garlic or minced garlic, and poultry seasoning, just whatever you want. I think I also added in some rosemary. So you just basically put this mixture all over the turkey. You want to put it on the inside, the outside, don't miss any spots. And if you have any left over, you can throw it right into the bottom and it'll flavor the gravy. And then I popped that into the oven at 325, and it took about 2 hours for this turkey to cook, and this is a 12-pound turkey. All right, now we're moving on to the mac and cheese. And for me, I always make it with a roux. So I start with some oil and then I go in with some flour. I don't mess around with making my macaroni and cheese with an egg-based like custard mixture just because it is not foolproof. It takes a lot of practice to master it, and it just doesn't come out right for me. When I've tried to do it, it didn't work. So this is a lot easier. Start with your roux. You want a blonde roux, just meaning that you don't want it to be super dark. You just want it to give it about a minute or so to cook the flour, and then you add in your milk, and then you just let this thicken. Once it gets thick, you add in your cheese. I'm using Havarti extra sharp cheddar and smoked Gouda, and I'm just gonna go ahead and slice it all up, and then from here, literally add in your cheese. And then you'll have a cheese sauce. You can season it if it needs it. You can add a little bit. Typically I'll do need. And then you add your noodles, stir it in. And this pot is actually from Bed Bath & Beyond. I love it. I don't think they have the white anymore, but you can get like green or blue, I believe, still. I'll link it below. And then I just go ahead and bake it in this pan because it is oven safe. And I love that. So yeah, top it with some more cheese if you like. Bake it, and you have perfectly delicious macaroni and cheese. Now that that's in the oven, we're moving on to the turkey, and really I'm just uncovering it and then putting it back in the oven so that it can get some color. And then we're about to start the gravy. So I'm just basically making a turkey stock. I use the turkey neck and the giblets, toss them into some water along with an onion, and I'm just gonna allow that to boil. Now moving on to the ham. It's pretty much done at this point. It has been warmed all the way through. All I need to do now is sprinkle I was supposed to kind of baste it in the juices, but I forgot to do that, and then sprinkle this so that it would stick better. But you sprinkle all of this powder to give it some additional flavor, and then you pop it under the broiler. Cornbread is done. I'm just adding some honey butter on top. And now the turkey is done as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and baste it a little bit with the drippings. And then I did go ahead and use these drippings in that turkey broth. As you can tell, it's time to make the gravy. I went ahead and took those drippings. Like I said, I added in some flour. This is the same process that I used in the gravy video that I made last year. Add in your flour, go ahead and stir that in, get as many of the lumps out as you can. And then literally I just throw this into the turkey broth, and this makes a delicious gravy. Taste it, see if it needs more seasoning, season it as necessary, and you're pretty much done. You have gravy. And now dinner is ready. Here's an aerial view of my Thanksgiving spread. We have our pound cake, we have our sweet potato pies, we also have cornbread, macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, ham, turkey, and then my grandmother also made potato salad and stuffing, which you guys can see right here. I got my Trader Joe's cranberry sauce, and off camera I made the green beans and the wild rice. That's it, y'all. That's the whole meal. I did not start cooking until around noon, and I was done by 3:30, 4 o'clock. It doesn't take long to make a Thanksgiving dinner. You really don't have to spend all day cooking. If you can use a little bit of time management skills, you can be in and out of the kitchen in only a few hours and be enjoying your time with your family and enjoying the holiday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did. Leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.